Hello and welcome to another video session here at NAV SEAL. Today we want to share some information or kind of have a brainstorming about warehousing and how does it work conceptual in Business Central. So let me share my screen here. So what you see on the left hand side is a way that a warehouse could be set up. When we talk about warehouses in Business Central, we talk about locations. A location is typically a physical warehouse somewhere, but location could mean anything. It could also be some companies that use locations, the concept of having locations within a warehouse, multiple locations. So again, it's up for you to decide how you want to interpret that. But in BC, on the location, that is where we kind of set up how we want to control our warehouse. You could say a warehouse complexity could go from very simple to very complex, depending on what it is you're storing in the warehouse and how you're going to receive and ship information in the warehouse, and of course, how big the warehouse is. If we look at our little simple setup over here, we have a back office. Back office to enter, keep control of our purchase documents, our sales documents, our warehouse documents, and so on. You don't have to use the warehouse functionality in BC if you have a simple setup with a small warehouse, because you can actually ship directly from a sales document and you can receive directly from a purchase document as well. But I will say in most scenarios, it is really nice to use the functionality that is given by the warehouse functionality. So let's try and take the first step when we have ordered something and we're going to receive that into our warehouse. The truck backs up to our warehouse, opens the door, and we are ready to put out the pallets and put them into our receiving area. So that's what we are marked here as a green and called receipt or receiving area. Typically, that area is also the area where you have your quality control. You check the numbers, you check that it's okay, nothing has been damaged, and so on. That is typically the first area where you do that. Now again, if you have a small, simple warehouse, you could take it directly from there and put it into the warehouse, into what we call the storage with the bins. Another possible scenario would be that, okay, we do actually receive so many pallets a day that we want to have that separated by our receiving area. So we're going to handle that in one operation, in one process. And that is typically referred to as our warehouse receipt documents. Once we have managed our warehouse receipt document, we have checked it and so on, we have verified quantities and qualities, we are going to receive that warehouse receipt document into the warehouse. This is the first step. You could say this is the point where you really take over responsibility for the goods delivered to you from the vendor. Next step would then be, okay, now we have to put it away. So in the receiving area, they would put the pallets into a safe area of that part of the warehouse. And later in the day, typically, someone would come from the warehouse and they would have a put away document that would represent what you have received. You would take that document, or a scanner if you use a scanner, and you would take that pallet or pallets and put that into the storage, where you put it into the bins, into the racks, into the shelves, and then you could say then you have done and you have completed, and the goods are now available to be sold or to be used in whatever fashion you want in your warehouse. So you can say that's a two-step operation. You receive it, quality checked, and then you put it away into the warehouse. Now, let's take the other part of it. We're going to sell it. We are running a business, so of course we're going to sell it. Again, it could be simple. We could, from the sales order, we could create a shipping document, a warehouse shipment document. If that's sufficient, meaning by that I mean that you don't have a big complex warehouse, you could identify, you could find those items out in the warehouse using the shipment document. If that's fine and you don't need any more details as such, you can use the warehouse shipment document and post that, meaning it actually goes onto the truck and you're gonna deliver it to the customer. Now, it could be a little bit more complex than that. You could have a more complicated setup with the warehouse. So sometimes it's beneficial to create what is called a pick document. So from the shipment document, or from the shipment trigger action, you could say, you're gonna create a pick document. So what is really the difference between the pick and the ship document? The pick document will usually have, or it will have, actions like take and put. So it means it will direct the warehouse employee out to the bins, out to the shelves, and say, okay, you need to go to this shelf, this bin location, and pick a number of items and put that onto the tray, go to the next, take however many is on the sales order, and put that onto the tray and go back to the shipping area. So that part itself is just, you would say, just to find the items that we're going to sell to the customer and put them into bins or packs or trays, whatever we can put them into, and bring it back to the shipment area. So at that point in time, we're going to register that pick document, and then the pick has been completed. We have not shipped it yet because we have put it into the shipping area. That last step is for the people in the shipping area to kind of, put it onto pallets, make it safe, make it pack it, wrap it, whatever needs to be done to make it safe to travel. And kind of select the carriers and the shipping methods and so on. So that's the responsibility of that. So once the truck pulls up to the dock, up to the warehouse, we have the shipment ready with all the papers, and that is part of the shipment document. When it goes onto the truck, we post the shipment document, and now this is posted on the sales order as well. So you could say, instead of the simple warehouse, we use the sales documents, we use the purchase documents, and we post directly from those documents. When it goes to the warehouse documents, we really take away unnecessary information from the documents, because in the warehouse, they don't need to know the discounts, the prices, and all of that other fun stuff that we have in there. They just need to focus on where to pick things and where to put things when we have to deal with the warehouses in there. So that's kind of that part of the warehouse. Now, for companies that does manufacturing, as you can see over here, we do have a slightly different, it's not slightly different, but we can use warehouse documents as well. Because whenever we have any production orders, release production orders, and they have components on that needs to be consumed as part of this manufacturing process, at that point in time when you say, okay, we are now ready to start the manufacturing of this production order, we're going to need some items and components that goes into this process. So at that point in time, we can create a warehouse document to actually tell the warehouse employees where to pick those items and put it into the area, the storage area that we use for our manufacturing. Often, as you can see in this little demo up here, the picture here, you can see it's put into a production bin. So when they take it from the storage, they put it into this production bin and then move it away. So because they post that warehouse document and takes it away from the storage from the warehouse, this also means that we cannot sell that item anymore. Now we have allocated that or those components to the manufacturing process, so it's ready for them. Now the manufacturing process starts and they do whatever they do. The final output then goes into what is called another output production bin. Again, to take it from that area of the manufacturing part of the business and bring it into the warehouse so we can sell it or move it around, whatever we want to do with it, we're going to use a new warehouse document to take it from the production bin in the manufacturing part of the warehouse and put it into our main storage, our main warehouse in here. So that's basically that's how you could approach warehouses and how to set that up. I know there's a lot more complexity, or can be a lot more complexity to it. So we're going to do a little bit more on the videos at a later stage. So stay tuned. Come back for the next video on warehousing. It was really nice to see you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching this video from NAV SEAL. Check out more right here. NAV SEAL offer assistance and counsel on any existing solution. So if you're in need of assistance, don't hesitate to contact us on navseal.com or LinkedIn. Consider leaving a like and subscribe for more tips, news, and guides to anything Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central.